Starburns Audio.
Thank you for listening to the Starburns Audio Podcast Network. We have so many great comedy shows to add to your playlist. Just last week on Starburns Audio, on the Season 2 premiere of Humans Who Make Games, Adam Conover talks to comedian Ron Funches and Jean Goudon, creative director of the Assassin's Creed series. On Boogie Monster, Kyle Kinane and Dave Stone share a perfect recipe for the quarantined cook. This week on Profiles and Eccentricity, they cover the history of the Coruscant Unity cult, folks for whom a flat earth is ridiculous because they believe it's really a concave shell. Search Starburns Audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any podcast platform for our full list of shows, featuring hosts like Joe Coy, Amanda Seales, Jessica Chobot, and Jackie Johnson. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Starburns Audio. Enjoy the show. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep laughing.
Dan and Ren and Jay will share tales of folks so unaware they lack in grace and sometimes choose the life they choose will make the news. Breaking down each epic fail in Florida, there's half-price bail. I'm happy to say they couldn't make this up. So listen to our podcast jam with co-hosts Arm and Dan. Bender, don't be a jerk, cause when the music hits, the funny hits, and we are gonna take you down. Stick around. Make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
Hey, Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town.
So energetic.
You. Dan,
so
you jumped in at the end.
I know, I didn't mean to.
We have a friend on the show who's a fellow comedian who we... And I have loved so much watching the rest of the world enjoy her as much as we enjoy her. I liken her experience in comedy right now, and you're just the way that people love you and watch you, and your fans watching your Twitter blog.
I do it for the fans.
No, but you do it for yourself. But what I was saying was, remember when you came down, and we told this story the last time you were on our other podcast, but I think it's a great metaphor for you. Remember when you came down and you featured for us at Irvine at the Improv down there? And people didn't know who you were. This is like years ago. And we, of course, were like the biggest fans of yours. And you come down, and these people, again, they were in Irvine. They're out.
It's not an alt room.
Yeah. They're not like, we're up on comedy and we know who this person is. You had to, in a relatively short period of time, in a 30-minute set, win them over to your point of view and your side of everything you were doing. This is before you were headlining. Okay. So this is a long time ago. And we watched you in a 30-minute set take these relatively OC, Orange County folk, and bring them around to your side of thinking, so much so that your last bit, they were so into it and into you. It was such an amazing, like, starting from zero to get these guys on your side. And I feel like that has been such a metaphor for you in the comedy world right now. Your Netflix specials, I feel like you have a presence overseas. Like, you've done shows in England and whatnot.
I do a little bit, yeah.
Isn't that fucking great?
It's great. I wish I remembered that night in my heart the way you guys do, but I've had many things like that when I first started going out on the road to headline. It was like, and then now I'm so comfortable. I mean, I also have my people coming, but I can do that for any kind of people because I think the key is not to.
You're like, I'll get them. I'll get them.
Yeah, because we're all human.
Right. Yeah.
And if I don't, then I just, I'll just, take a shit on the stage.
Yeah, which we've
That's
all
been a bit. I know you guys haven't seen that yet.
That's your is that your closer? That's not her closer, actually.
No,
she comes back with another
comedy after that.
That's how good I am. But I think I used to take the shit on the stage when people were bad audiences, and now I'm like, you know what? Everyone loves it. So I just do. It's just become a thing. Anyway,
it's universal, and everyone poops. Jen Kirkman, you're with us, and for those who don't know her, aren't familiar with her comedy, Dumb People Townies, check her out. You've got a couple of Netflix specials. What's your most recent one?
It's called Just Keep Livin.
Yeah, and it come out recently.
Came out January.
Yeah,
and then I'm going on tour.
In support of that, you have books.
September.
And you got books.
So come see me, JenKirkman.com. Click tour dates, motherfuckers. Yeah, I have books.
Get the books.
But what I love about you is
just come see me on tour.
Your attitude to you.
Well, come see her on tour and buy the book.
Look at that. What do you think? Everyone's rich?
Yeah, I do. Go to the tour. Yeah. Are you going to go see a movie? No, go out and see live comedy.
Oh, no, of course.
Support it.
But I'm saying your attitude towards the subjects you tackle in your stand-up is so perfect for this show and what we do here on this show, for those who don't know, and for the Jen Kirkman fans who are coming to this show, because I'm sure you're going to bring some of your people over here. And you're listening
I'll
the first
promo
time.
this.
Oh, yeah. I know you will. What we do on the show is Dan Van Kirk, our lovely co-host in this venture.
I had a real Seinfeld moment.
No relation to me. With me?
Dan Van Kirkman. Dan Van Kirkman.
I don't know if you remember, I told you about it the same day. I remember being a kid in Rochelle, Illinois. It's the heartland, feeding the world. And watching Seinfeld and being like, how do they always... They just having to keep running into these people around the city. Like, is that really how it happens? And then I was in New York doing a show with Doug Benson. And we had both gone to our separate hotels because the sex wasn't great the night before. But we had gone to our separate hotels. Yeah, you know how it is.
He likes to cuddle.
So I see Jen Kirkman on Broadway on a phone and kind of looking up and ducking into a star, crossed right in front of me.
I had a big meeting I was late for. Couldn't find the address.
And not thinking of anything. I think we had done a show together or something. I knew that you were writing in New York or something like that. So I text Doug and I go, I just saw Jen Kirkman run into a Starbucks on Broadway. And Doug just writes back, that's New York, baby.
I love that you text that Doug's okay.
Because I just thought it was so random. I'm like, who else
you just
would
heard in the
appreciate
background,
this?
boom, ba-ding, bing, bing, and you're like, what is that? Oh, it's just a
Did you see her again?
That's what
episode
makes
ever.
it the Seinfeld thing. Then later on that night, I end up at a party because Edgar Wright was on Doug's show with us, so then invited Doug and I to his New York premiere of Baby Driver after party, and then Doug and I get to this party, and Jen Kirkman is there, and I see
friend and guest of Edgar Wright. Just want to make it clear. I wasn't brought 3
Dan,
people.
you dropped something.
Oh, sorry.
That's Edgar Wright's name.
Yes, and then we met and hung out on the roof. And
but it was such
great.
it does happen. But you see people, then you see them again later in the city.
It's like Louis' old bit. It's like God's running out of extras. Is that his bit?
I don't know.
Oh my God, that's really funny.
In the movie that is your life.
He's running out of extras. So you just
I see that guy again.
Oh, that guy.
Oh my God, I wish I thought of that.
What a great idea. I know, I hate that feeling. But
here's how this show works.
So the show works is that we have great fans who listen to the show, dumb people townies, who go out and find amazing stories that are
great ones
harrowing and crazy, and then send them to Dan. We have not heard them.
Oh,
We're with you, Jen. We have not heard anything.
This is the first time Randy and me and Jen
I barely read them.
He's barely read them, and no, he has broken them down, and the 4 of us just get to make fun of it because, as you know, as I'm sure you know, from all the people who tweet at you, the world is becoming a dumber place.
Yes.
It is. You get a lot of heat on Twitter because you're opinionated. You throw it out there.
And I do not agree that, oh, no, it's always been dumb. We're just seeing it. No.
It is getting dumber.
Because dumb is getting rewarded in a way that it hasn't in the past.
Yeah.
It used to be,
it
chided.
used to be in school. Remember, the dumbest kids. Brian Regan had a great bit about that, the dumb kid in the spelling bee. This is a phenomenal bit about he'd be in a spelling bee and there'd always be that one kid who was
purposely trying to fail.
Cat. He'd be like K-A-T, and I'd be like, you're done. Sit down, and you just walk back and be like, I knew there were 2 T's. But I mean, the idea that kid was cool because he was being dumb. We had those kids in our school. We had those people who were the coolest kids were also the dumbest kids, and that works until you're 16. But I'm saying now adults are being rewarded for being dumb, and so the only way to combat that is to try and make fun of it, and that's what we do here on this damn show.
Love it.
So Daniel, what do we have on the first round?
I'm going to read you just the headline and see how you feel
just
about
the tip.
Yep, here we go. Manitowoc, Wisconsin police have trouble subduing naked man.
Okay, now Manitowoc has had their fair share.
Stephen Avery.
If you watched Making
a sports thing,
Making a Murder on.
I don't watch anything murder. Too scary.
Too scary. Why?
Don't even watch Law and Order. It messes with my head. I don't know.
Do you think you're going to get murdered?
No, I think I'm going to murder someone. I'm not even kidding. I get neurotic about what if I did that? Don't like anything murder.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I'm afraid of getting murdered.
So one of the famous.
You say, what if I did that? You put yourself in their shoes and be like, well,
you don't want tips?
I used to have a stand-up bit about it where I used to obsess on oh my God, I hope I never murder anyone. And then I went to a store once and I saw these shoes. They were calling to me and I looked at the label and they were Bruno Magli. That's what OJ wore when he murdered. Yeah. And I was like, I have the same taste as a murderer.
I have a murdering gene just on fashion alone.
Is it fear of getting railroaded too? That you're what if I just see someone thinks I killed a person?
No, I have a fear of going insane. and doing the most unthinkable thing.
I'd say that makes
when
you
you're
healthy.
on a bridge and you're walking or just anywhere.
Not worried about jumping.
You don't
Subway, you're not. I might
Worried
push
about
someone.
pushing someone.
pushing someone.
Wow. All right. So
Kirkman laying it bare. Laying it
Manitowoc.
bare.
Manitowoc, Wisconsin is the home of where the trial was.
And Beth Hoyt.
For Ann Beth Hoyt, and it's also where the trial of
For Stephen Avery, a
for
guy who
making
was,
murder.
many people say was falsely accused. Some people say he was rightly convicted for a mysterious murder of a woman, and he just, it's
Most people would say regardless, did not get due process.
did not get due process. And so this place, Manitowoc, Wisconsin, if you watch the series on Netflix, gets blasted throughout
Got
this
it.
whole thing. So they've
Now
had
they're
their
trying to
fair
keep
share
a naked man down.
So what happened?
Isn't everybody?
Can I just guess?
Yes, you can do
Something
anything.
to do with he ran out of his house because something was on fire.
What, that is so nice.
Like a meth
giving
lab,
him
I'm
so
saying.
much credit.
Yeah.
Oh, meth lab. All right, fine. That's
This was
not
sent
as
in by
nice as I
Jake
thought it was gonna be.
Magnuson at Jake Magnuson on Twitter.
Thanks, buddy.
Magnuson.
Thanks for sending it in.
I agree. Manitowoc. This guy, you think, I mean, it's all his own fault, but he's having a bad day.
Okay, so Kirkman might be right here.
Manitowoc. Police officers arrested a Manitowoc man Friday evening for standing in the street without any clothes on.
Mm-hmm.
In the process, they accidentally set him on fire.
Okay.
Wait a second. How did you know fire was going to be
I
involved?
don't know. You know that I have a weird psychic ability.
Do you really?
I had a friend who wasn't able to conceive, and I said, "You're going to have a boy." I had a dream, and she did. I have crazy instincts. I'm booking a trip to. This is kind of dark, but I'm booking a trip to Barcelona for the holidays, and I kept avoiding booking it because I was like, I just have the feeling like Barcelona hasn't had its moment. That seems like a place ripe for terrorist attack. And then that day that I was supposed to talk to my travel agent, it happened. So okay, so I
The fact that you have a travel agent is really bizarre to me.
I
feels
never
very
have
old.
used one. This is what's so funny.
I find
My
it.
friend recommended that I do it for this trip, and so I kept trying to connect with her. Anywho,
Right. Yeah.
And then, as you know, I predicted. I know by the time this comes out, but I predicted Trump will resign this weekend, so we'll see. Now you believe me.
Now.
All right. I knew
That
I felt-
happens. You felt fire.
I felt it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow.
Kirkman.
Friday evening, they tried to arrest him for standing in the street without any clothes on. In the process, they accidentally set him on fire.
Are we that flammable without clothes?
I don't know.
There's a
but-
whole
I think what
series.
you're missing is Dan saying accidentally in air quotes.
Yeah.
Well,
So what happened?
yeah, this is one of those. We did this back with Tig. We had Tig on that. It's one of those like Magnolia. Just a certain amount of circumstances happen.
All in the same area.
Also, this person's name, guys.
Let's hear it. Perfect.
So I think sometimes the name chooses the criminal.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like the Sorting Hat in Harry Potter. Like you get this name and it kind of tells you where it's going to go.
Which, by the way,
Billy
I went.
Bob.
Billy Bob.
Officers found Travis L. Tingler,
That is it, man.
TLT.
Tingler.
The Tingler effect.
That's what he calls his penis.
I was going to say he does karaoke. He's like, because I'm TLT. I'm dynamite.
Travis L.
Those aren't the words.
TLT.
Well, it's one letter off. He wouldn't know that.
Right.
The Tingler doesn't know.
I knew there were two T's.
The Tingler. TLT. I'm going to tell you
He
right
definitely
now.
calls his dick the Tingler. That's just.
There's things Tingler, a lot of third person. A lot of there's things Tingler will do.
There's some things that Tingler won't do.
And
He
one of the
got-
things he will do is catch on fire.
They found Travis L. Tingler in the 1100 block of South 25th Street near Hamilton Street. Put that on the walking map. Where he was shouting toward a home at the intersection that he had a knife and was going to gut people in the house.
Okay. When you're naked, where is the knife?
Better be
He's
in your
holding
hand.
it. Yeah, it better not be.
Or maybe you got a knife strap. Little ankle strap with
Yeah,
your knife
Oh, yeah,
on it.
yeah.
That still counts as nude, right?
Ankle strap on with a knife if you're nude definitely counts as nude.
If you want to fight someone in a house and you're naked with a knife saying, like, I'm really going to bring
I'm going to
it,
cut you.
they're probably not coming out.
No.
That's not a good lure.
By the way, I had a knock on this is how much I don't want to answer my door.
Answering your door has become the equivalent of answering your home phone.
Right. I had a
oh, yeah.
knock on the
Or
door.
having a home
I opened the I have a home phone.
You have to have one for terrorism.
Right. I opened the little peephole. I saw that it was neighbors that I recognized and who I liked actually. Yeah. And I still was like, what's going on here? Like I said, I couldn't open the door and that's how much I really didn't want to
call on
open
your
it.
cell phone and it's not a number you recognize. I come at them with so much anger. I answer. I'm like, what do you want? What do you want? What is it? I get mad.
You're like a guy that works at a car service that's answering after hours because it's like also his home. My mother does that. She hides. We have a really nice, back in my parents' house, there's a really nice neighbor. She lived with her mom. She sings in the church choir. She never got married. We don't know if she's ever been touched by a man. And she'll just she'll see people come home, and I agree with my mom. Mom and dad pull up in the driveway after like a weekend away or something. They walk into the house. She's ringing the bell half hour later, thought I'd bring you some muffins I made. And my mom's like, Maureen she's just not like me. I don't need people coming over. Maureen is just a little bit.
She's a little too much for me.
She's just got nothing going on, and she comes over. I go, I don't want muffins. I eat my 0% frozen yogurt. I'm tired, and so she goes on and on.
So I think I have a couple of Maureen's in my neighborhood.
You're like that every time. I've knocked on your door, and before you,
Ren, you have the fake Maureen.
When you're 3 steps from your door, you constantly do this. Yep. You let you've gotten me up, and I'm coming to answer my goddamn.
Yeah, like an old man.
It just happened last week. I knock, and then you'll hear us.
I don't know what I'm trying to project.
You hear? Yep.
I don't know what I'm trying to project in that situation. I just don't want Maureen coming over with the muffins, figuratively.
Yeah, well, I think saying yep too makes it seem like you're busy with something.
Right, I got something else going on.
I've been pulled on all sides here. I gotta get the door.
A lot of things going on back here.
You throw a P in my family, we just go vowel all the way to the end. Yeah.
Why are you knocking on his door?
Yeah, because his door is always locked.
Nah, if he comes over,
you gotta knock when you get to
door in
Randy's
LA. But if someone is yelling outside of your house naked with a knife, then I'm gonna come in and gut you. Does Maureen bring that guy muffins?
Yeah,
I
thought you might want some muffins
and a sweater.
I don't think she's comfortable with naked men. Yeah. I also like that I presumed this man lived in the neighborhood. He probably maybe was just running around.
Exactly.
Might be his favorite neighborhood.
This is what I love. He's standing there screaming with a knife naked in the street at a house. The next sentence is this. Travis Tingler told officers he wasn't doing anything wrong.
Yeah. Because in his brain, and this is happening more and more, the crazy people believe that they're right. They believe that what they're doing, everything is justifiable in any way.
Right. They roll up. He's yelling. And when you get out here, officer walks up. Officer, how are you?
What's going on?
Yep.
So maybe you can help me in this situation. I bet he thought it was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming
showing
here.
up.
You guys got my message?
Oh, you guys are in trouble now. Naked. He's just tingling down.
Yeah. He said he wasn't doing anything wrong according to the Manitowoc Police Department report. Quote, I told him, this is the officer said in the report, I told him he couldn't be out in the middle of the street with no clothes on. I asked him about his condition.
Negative. So he can be in the street.
Right. I asked him about his condition. I noticed he had dazed appearance, blank stare, and sweating profusely. I hope he looked at him and was like, officer, did you drop in to see what condition my condition was in? At which point, if I was the cop, I'd be like, that's a good one. I'll give you that one. Right. I'll give you that one.
Points. He shouldn't be I'm just going to be a nerd. He shouldn't be in the middle of the street with clothes on. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, you're
number
right.
One. There's many levels.
So this is a public safety issue.
Yeah, I mean, there's sidewalks.
The officer suspected Travis L. Tingler, who said other people were messing with him and he was calling them out. So, see, you're right. They started it.
Yeah, other people are messing with him.
He's 100% right in his mind.
He told the officer.
I mean, unless he's like schizophrenic. Let's just put that off the table.
Okay.
I read through and I try to look because I like to avoid where it's mental illness.
There's no need to make fun of someone with mental illness.
No, but I think that he's probably like one of those aggro people on drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
I call meth.
Steroids.
He told the officer he could be out on the street with no clothes on and that he didn't have a weapon. So I guess that's how you define a knife.
Okay, but that's exactly what's going on in our country. You're doing it right in front of someone. I'm not doing that.
This to me
is 100%.
And what's your defense? What's your defense? I'm telling you I'm not doing it. That's my defense.
This is the Shaggy defense. It wasn't me. Saw me bang. My girlfriend came in and saw me banging this other girl on the counter, and I just turned back and said, "It wasn't me."
Well,
I'm literally watching you do it to this. Wasn't me.
This is what happens. To put it in lady terms, I got a haircut a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Don't make it blunt on the ends, choppy, piecey." And I kept saying choppy and piecey, and she was looking at me going choppy and piecey, and she was bragging about how much she got it. Meanwhile, giving me a blunt cut as she's saying she's doing.
You're like choppy, piecey.
Yeah, and she's going choppy. choppy, PC, cutting it blunt. And I'm like, this is people who voted for Trump. He's doing in front of you
the thing that you're asking him not to do.
Yeah, and you're still voting for him.
Choppy and PC.
And he's telling you what you want to hear. Anyway.
Choppy and PC was originally going to be the two characters on The Simpsons that were then replaced by Itchy and Scratchy.
Yeah. A lot of people
I lost a lot of money.
You really lost a lot of money on that one.
Yeah,
and
so
they're like, no, we're going to pay you for Choppy and PC. We're paying you. And you're like,
It
no,
might be
but
a
you're
web
not.
series.
But you're not.
But we're telling you that we're paying you. Isn't that good enough? No, paying me is good enough.
I don't get this girl. She wants too much.
Choppy and PC.
Wait, how did they accidentally light him on fire? This I can't.
Tingler said he wanted to go to a home on 25th Street. Police instead handcuffed him and, finding a pair of pants in the front lawn, tried to put them on Tingler.
Yeah, that's...
I've tried to get my kids dressed in the morning, and they're not on meth, and they aren't threatening people with knives.
And it's
very
still
hard.
a very difficult prospect.
And I'm
but
bigger.
On a grown man, it's going to be really hard to do.
Officers later found a pocket knife on the front porch of a nearby home on 1100 block of 25th Street, along with, this describes exactly how this guy lives, along with coins and several cigarette butts.
Butts.
Already,
in
he's
his
keeping
pocket.
everything.
Yeah, everything's
One of those deals where he knew what he was going to do as soon as he finished this pack.
His plan is set.
Yeah. Police, this is so, there's so many things being painted into this picture that you don't even need the details for.
Okay.
Police talked to a girl who was holding a baby in the home. That's
Okay.
Is
Right?
it her baby?
Does it matter?
We don't
She's
know.
holding a baby.
And is she not a woman, a girl holding a baby?
Right. Officer?
Good point.
This to me is like a...
Ma'am? Yeah.
Yeah.
What time
I
is
almost
it?
called
Why is a baby not asleep?
I almost
For
called it
9
a...
o'clock.
Oh, okay. So
Summer night.
I
Some
wanted
sort
to
of
call
baby
this
goes
as a David Lynch scene, just like a girl holding a baby in a
9-year-old
home.
girl holding a baby.
I almost called it a Stephen Lynch. Remember the guitar?
the guitar comic.
There
Yeah.
you go.
It's like a Stephen
baby
Lynch
and
movie.
a ukulele.
Yeah.
He's singing a song about a girl and a baby.
She said, this is the girl holding the baby, Travis L. Tingler was dating her mother and they had lived in the home for about 2 years. She said he, that's Trav, started drinking alcohol 3 hours earlier and started to act weird, making comments such as, quote, "Stay in the light and never come into the dark."
That's actually great advice.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
But let me just say this: if you, I'm not assuming that you have a life coach, and I'm assuming you probably never had a life coach.
Never have.
But if a life coach said that
to you, Kirks, stay in the light and never go in the darkness, what would you say to that person?
I can't believe I'm paying you, and it will end today.
Right, because in the darkness is where we find our funniest.
And also, good point. And also, that's so esoteric. Like, yeah, great. Like, unless you're...
Tell me how I'm going to make it through next week.
Yeah,
dummy.
give me some advice for, look at my 401k. So wait, they're still in a relationship, or they had been?
This is the
daughter
the daughter of the
of
woman
the mom
he
who's
dates.
dating Tingler.
Yes.
And is Tingler and the mom over?
No, I think they're still
still
I mean,
on.
after this, they're probably over.
probably
Yeah.
over.
Definitely over now.
But like 3 hours of drinking is not going to make you
Crazy.
go, even if you're an alcoholic, not going to make you go that.
What if you're drinking wild turkey?
Yeah, I mean,
or
it's
like
definitely-
some Everclear.
There's definitely something
I mean, definitely
else
Ice
going
House.
on.
It's mixing with his meds.
Yeah, something's
some meds.
up.
Something's happening.
He after he said to her, "Stay in the light and never come into the dark,"
But by the way, stay in the light and never come into the dark means that he's in the
He's
dark.
in the dark, yeah.
Don't come in here where I'm standing. I mean,
I know the
let's-
dark.
Let's get specific about what he's actually.
It's like Atreyu and the Nothing in that scene, the Never-Ending Story, where it's like, "What's going on back there?"
I just can't believe that movie. The second that movie ended, I was like, "What a ripoff!"
Come on.
Why? Because it ended.
It's a never-ending story.
Yeah.
How dare they? False advertising.
He then, this is according to the girl with the baby, he threw the glass he had been drinking from into the street, breaking it, and took off his clothes and threw them onto the front porch.
Yeah, it's go time. It's go time.
Yeah, that was his...
Dishwasher was full. Don't know where to put this.
When the glass goes in the street, this shirt comes off. I'm coming out there with a knife,
the
and we're going to settle
glass
this
into the
thing.
street from the front porch. That's like a shot over the bow. Like, you're letting everyone know it's
I'll be out
happening.
there. I'll be there.
I'm coming out
then
of
he
the
goes
dark.
barefoot into the road, risking
Again, stupid, not smart.
Risking cutting his feet.
cutting your foot.
But as the glass sails out over the road, do you think the first couple of like bars of "I'm Coming Out" by Diana Ross, or the beginning of hit. What's the song by Mo Money, Mo Problems?
Yes.
So the remix, as a, and there he is.
I want the world to know.
I do relate to this guy when I get home
Just throwing
from a
glass,
long
dropping
like
pants.
trip. Like
You want to take your clothes off,
I literally stand in the doorway.
rip everything off.
I just take everything off.
Throw a glass.
I throw it right in the laundry.
Yeah.
And then I unpack my suitcase and put it, and I unpack naked because I can't deal.
I love that you unpack
You want
naked.
the day off of you.
Yeah.
I gotta get it. I gotta get out of what I just was.
Yeah, I was just in a plane. I just, everything off me.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Get
then
it
I
out.
jump in the shower, and then I'll maybe put on like a kimono or something.
You go into the dark.
How many kimonos do you own?
2.
2 kimonos. I love that.
Is that too many or no?
Just
Is that
enough.
Just enough.
Because
People
if I
have-
lose one traveling.
People have said you're the Steven Seagal of comedy.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
you
not
know,
enough people. I'm trying to get that going.
Why is that?
It's just
'Cause
a
she's
lot
nuts,
of kimonos.
man. So
But yeah.
I want that to be your merch.
Oh my God.
Kirkman
I don't want
Kirkman
other people looking at
kimonos?
yeah, but then she's got to travel with them. And
No,
Yeah,
but she
too
could
much.
probably pack, like, if they're really thin, like 30
No.
to 40
Put them on the
kimonos.
website. Just put them on the
Kirkman
website.
kimonos.
It's
I
too
would buy
close
one
to
of
like
those.
KKK.
I would love it.
It's a sensitive time.
Then if we get married, we don't have to lose either name. We could
Kirkman Kirk?
we could just combine it.
Oh, you're getting in on the kimono thing?
No, our names. It dawned on me
It just
way too
suddenly
late in this
seems
game.
like-
Dan Van Kirkman.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it suddenly seems like I start this successful kimono business.
Yeah.
He'd
And
like
now
to get
Dan
married
jumps on
and
them.
just like
Oh,
Kathy
yeah,
Griffin
That's
That's
kind of what I
stole all
want.
her
That
money.
is pretty
Yeah.
much what I'm going
On the
for.
kimono gravy train. You want to jump in.
Oh yeah. Dan suddenly
I'll help
Dan
pick the
suddenly
colors.
heard that you were kind of interested in a kimono business, and he's like, no.
So you're
I'm
Yeah,
married?
I'm getting married.
Yeah.
I'm getting a
You guys
prenup.
haven't even dated. Oh, yeah,
I'm getting
that's
a
a good
prenup
point.
just
Come
as
on.
friends.
Let's talk.
Prenup.
Let's just talk.
prenup.
You're talking to a successful kimono owner.
You're talking about to a successful kimono mogul.
My favorite part of this episode so far, if I can just step in beside baseball, is how much you're identifying with Travis Helting.
She's really trying to get inside his head. I love it. All right, so he throws his clothes off, takes the glass out, and the thing is, it's go time, right?
Yes. Then he eventually gets arrested.
Sure.
Tingler told he refused to get in the squad car and said he wanted to see his kids. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he left off the words "for the first time."
Right. in a long time.
For the last time.
Yeah, both. First
Yeah,
and
first and
last.
last time.
I
I
know
wanna
they're
see
out
it.
there. He probably
I
yelled.
want to see my kids.
The mother came home from work. What do you think? She's like, work is done. I'm going to go home.
I can't wait to take off all my clothes
Yep.
and do nothing. Just relax.
Get the kimono and
Get
a
the-
Chardonnay. I've heard
Rosé.
iced
It's the
rosé.
summer of the
Yes.
rosé.
Iced rosé is a thing I've
Iced
heard.
rosé,
Oh,
a little
yeah.
bit of spritz
I mean, not
in it.
iced, frozen rosé.
Frozen?
Yes.
Rosé?
They call it frosé.
There's a bar downtown called, they have a frozen rosé drink called Rosé Bar.
Yeah.
And it is very, very good. It's a slushy rosé. It's so
Is that
good.
like for Roseanne
It's very
bar?
good.
It's for Roseanne Barr.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rosé Bar.
Oh,
Rosé
really?
Bar.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're going for
It
there.
goes with the Tom Arnold Palmer.
Wow. At Sklar Brothers.
Oh my God.
Just
Very
send
sad.
the high five emoji at Sklar Brothers. That was well done.
I'm more partial to the Frosé O'Donnell. All right, so. It's just a big, thick.
Trump hates it.
I agree.
That's the best part of it.
So how does he catch on fire?
We're almost there. The mom comes home. Police. Okay. The mother came home from work and police used stun guns to get the man into the police car. She's pulling into the drive.
And they're
as
at
that's
stun gun
happening.
level.
Yes. Police reported Tingler somehow picked up a lighter during the struggle. Like, that's part of his fight is let me get my lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when the stun gun probe hit the lighter,
It lit on
a
fire.
combination of lighter fluid and electricity from the stun gun caused Tingler's beard and chest hair to catch fire.
Oh, man.
1 in a million
That
chances.
is, I mean, that's a good shot right there.
Yeah.
An
He's like
off-
the Michael Jackson Pepsi.
Yes.
He's the Michael Jackson of crazy people in the street who are
Do
naked.
you think he was like, oh, hell no?
Yeah.
And they all backed off. An officer tried to pat the fire off his body, and Travis L. Tingler continued to fight even after the fire was put out.
So they put him out. So they didn't really light him on
fought
fire.
Pre-fire.
They
Right.
tased him and he had all
a
the.
huge flame must have come up when electricity hits all of that gas in that.
That's a big flame.
Yes. He's then on fire, does not stop fighting. They put the
try
fire
and
out.
pat the fire
Remember
out
when
to
you guys-
help and save him, and then they start punching.
And
Jen,
then
do you have
starts fighting.
siblings?
Yes.
Did you? And you guys, when you
They're
would
a
fight,
lot older, though.
Okay.
And we're girls. We didn't fight.
Okay.
We weren't animals.
but you every once in a while you'd be like, time
You
out.
psychologically fought each other.
Sure.
We really did. They're so much older than me. They were like my mothers.
Okay.
So to
But when
keep
you
me out of
guys,
this.
when you fight, you'd say like time out, time out, time out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's what that they probably took a time out for the
Time
fire.
out. Let's go to the fire.
Pat him down.
And then
Okay.
he went back
Time
into
in.
the darkness.
Time in.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll see back in the
Come to
darkness.
the darkness.
Yes.
I'm guessing this guy is white because I'm hearing stun gun.
Oh, he'd
like
be
I'm not
shot if he
I'm
was
not
white.
hearing like
They're going
Come
through
on.
every single.
Continued to fight even after it was put out. He then punched an officer in the face, and an officer used a stun gun on him from about 6 feet away. Then he fell and hit his head hard on the pavement.
Okay.
It's just all probably where glass was, right?
exactly.
So many things are going wrong with this.
Officer called an ambulance. Hospital staff. Go ahead.
If this were Christmas Eve and he were Sinbad, the name of this movie would be Tinkle All the Way.
So good.
Sklar Brothers. You should send high five
If it was
emojis to that
Sinbad,
one
if it was
too.
Sinbad, the guy would have been choked out. I mean, let's be
Yeah, I
honest.
know.
If it's a black
It's
guy,
crazy.
It's insane how many chances
this
this
guy's
dumb
got-
white dude is.
All right, fine.
Hospital staff in Tingler tested positive for marijuana and had a blood alcohol count of
Point what?
I don't know. Do you want to guess
Yeah,
that?
I'd love to
let's
guess.
guess it.
Okay.
So what do you think, Kirks?
I don't really know what the
Point 0.08 is legal limit.
Okay.
Okay.
0.15 is like you're a good. That's a good drunk. You're a friendly drunk.
0.3 or higher means basically
You poured vodka on the breathalyzer.
down into the breath.
Okay, so 0.25
0.25
or 0.025 or whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
you're right.
I say 0.17.
Okay.
0.3.
One of you guys is exactly on the number.
Oh, yeah. Guess at home, everybody.
We're also going to play Guess the Age on
Great,
this
I
one,
love
too.
it.
But
Good.
I hadn't.
Let's do it.
Travis L. Tingler had a blood alcohol content of 0.17.
Wow. I thought it was going to be 3.
I was really surprised too, but maybe
He had weed in the system, too.
maybe
All right. No
maybe
big
it was
deal.
dipped. Maybe it was
This
dipped.
is why
maybe it was wet.
it cannot be legal, everybody. Look what it
stop
makes
it.
you do.
Stop it.
We didn't need that when I was younger. We had...
Is your mom talking? or
No,
your
this
older
is
sisters?
Jennifer
Jennifer,
talking.
it's all
We
okay.
didn't have weed. We would relax by taking our clothes off and putting on a kimono.
Police
That's some serious kimono logic.
Police are recommending charges of resisting an officer, battery to an officer, disorderly conduct, and lewd and lascivious behavior. I'm going to ask you guys. You have a choice here. You're our guest, Jen Kirkman. You can go first, or you can go last, or as Tig started out, you can go second if you want.
Okay.
How old is Travis
Travis
L.
L.
Tingler?
How old is the Tingler?
Too much fun leaves marks in life. Living hard, you'll pay the price. Who is gonna get it right? Guess the age, guess the age.
You want to go first or last?
First.
Okay.
I think he's like 41.
41 years old.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, just seven.
So he has
7
kids,
years older than you.
And you would, by that, I would assume he has kids old enough to fist fight.
Yeah. Okay.
he's
41. He's
41.
probably has a
Okay.
20-year-old.
I know there's part of me that thinks he's really young too, but I'm going to take a weird risk.
No, you're good.
Okay,
That's
great.
fine.
I'm not getting a psychic feeling on this one, but I
Okay.
am telling you that's my guess.
Okay.
First of all, I think Kimono Logic was a Steely Dan album.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I do
One
think
of my
that could also
favorites.
be the name of this episode.
Okay, perfect.
I think he's 48 years old.
Wow.
48.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think he is 30 years old. I kind of am going with Kirkman. I think he's, for in this type of world and for how much he's lived,
very old.
he's very old, but he's still like 30. He'll be a grandpa in 5 years.
All right, everybody playing along at home, get your answers in. Travis L. Tingler is 32 years old.
Yes,
My guy.
Randy.
This is my guy.
There he is.
Oh, my
Look at
God.
him.
Oh, he doesn't look anything like I thought
By the way,
did.
he looks like
This will all
everybody.
be on the Facebook page.
He looks
everybody.
like everybody in the alt comedy scene in
He
Portland.
totally does.
Or he looks like he could still be in the Spin Doctors. Like not like whatever the Spin Doctors incarnation is right now.
Yeah, he's in,
Yeah.
he's
He's
in like
in
a
that.
Spin
I feel
Doctors
like
cover
he's-
band called Two Princes.
halfway through his Geico caveman makeup.
Yeah.
He just said Bernie would have won, even though it's a still photo. He just yelled that at me.
You could see that. All right, there we go.
Go to the
Won.
Facebook page. Join our Facebook page
Yeah. Join
if
our
you want to
Facebook
see
group.
photos of this guy.
At the end of today's episode, we have more Facebook page. Great, fun stuff.
You guys are
happening
the
over there.
best. That's what I love about this thing. Community, as we put it together. Dumb people, townies getting together. All right, we got 2 more stories. I cannot wait. And then some more Facebook fun at the end of this. This is Dumb People Town. Jen Kirkman is with us. Stay with us.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey guys, welcome back to Dumb People Town. Please, one more time, follow Kirkman on Twitter. She's a great follow.
Great follow. She will provoke
A lot of
people.
predictions.
Jen Kirkman? Is it just Jen Kirkman?
One N and Jen. Everybody, please.
One N and Jen Kirkman, Kirkman.
Not land.
And you're not afraid. You're not the purveyor of all things at Costco.
Some people call me Kirkland. I can't take
Really? I don't get
it.
it.
Drives me nuts.
All right.
You are not afraid to get into it with people on Twitter.
Well, this is what I do. I retweet them and I write something sarcastic and I block. I don't go back and forth.
Yeah.
Nobody deserves that time.
Smart.
Yeah.
I love
so
it.
it looks fun to the outside, but to the person, they don't get my time.
They hate it.
I love it.
They don't get
Beautiful.
your time.
Beautiful.
Reclaiming my time.
Because you put it, you're not afraid to put it out there. Again, I think for anybody creative trying to do something, you got to leave a lot of yourself out on the field, or else it's not worth it. And that means you, your opinions, stories about you, whatever it is, and you got to go all in, or else what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
People like the commitment that artists have to themselves, if that makes sense, I think.
Yeah.
Or the commitment that they have
To their ideals.
To their voice or
Yeah, to
whatever.
their
revealing parts of themselves, their deepest opinions or their deepest secrets or whatever. Artists are willing to say things in a way that I think a lot of people wish they could about themselves. And so it is liberating for people to hear it, I think, and see it.
Well, you know what's funny though? Now that Twitter's getting more like people have their people have their threads, it's getting more like thoughtful. Like I use it the way I just call it, like I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not comedian Jen. I'm citizen Jen. If you were imagining like sitting home, like yelling at the news TV with me, like not really yelling it, but just being like, oh, well, this guy's good. And I just type my instinctual thought. And then I'm like, oh, like 2 hours later, I'm like, I sound dumb. I'll delete it, but I don't
You
think
also have 250,000 people who are following you.
Oh, true. Yeah, I don't think it's meant for that anymore. I think it's not quite as off the top of your head anymore. People are
You think
taking
people
it.
craft it a little bit more?
I think they do. I think I need to start doing that because I thought of it as like you're kind of grade me on the scale when I say I think Trump's resigning this weekend. Like I just say shit, you know, and
I like that.
I think that it can be that
It
in
used to
many
be.
ways. I think it can be that in many ways.
I think it still can be. I think it can be
To
a
me,
lot
it's
of
a
things.
mixture of, I always love when people start something, start an idea, and then you come on to build on it. I mean, again, this is why we love collaboration, and that's what this whole podcast is. So when someone puts something out there that's funny, like a friend of ours who we follow and puts something out there funny, I always love building on that or one of our fans building on that with a joke. And then if they come back, then I'll come back. And then, and that to me is like what is super fun about it.
Yeah, I have super funny fans that say things, and I'm like, oh my god, that was genius. I wish I thought of that. And you go back and forth with people.
Yeah,
That's
love that.
It's good.
Yeah.
You're a good follow. Get on it.
Love
All
you
right.
guys. Thanks.
Dan, what do you got for us, buddy?
That's it.
No more stories.
All right, what do we got? Come on, Dan.
Here we go. Ready?
Follow Dan Van Kirk on Twitter. Daniel Van Kirk on Twitter as well.
All right. Sent in by Creature Comforts. 2 Ks, which is the appropriate amount.
Yeah.
You don't want any more.
No,
You
that
can
is-
do one less.
Yeah.
But
That person could never have a kimono.
KREATURKOM. Forts. So thanks, buddy. Here we go. In a bizarre medical case, a British woman somehow had a horrific amount of contact lenses in one eye, but didn't realize it.
Oh my God.
We're going to start at the top. How many contact lenses? You guys don't know anything other than what I just said.
Is that
What
Did
was
she
your
have
what was your
one eye?
description again of how many?
a horrific amount of
contact lenses
in one eye,
one eye.
and she didn't know about it.
you can go first or last.
Or second.
I'll go last.
Okay.
Okay.
Jay?
I think it's 12.
Okay.
That feels like a horrific amount.
Yes.
I'm going to say 20.
Okay.
20. That's a horrific amount. It can't just be single digits. That's me.
I feel like you're drawing into that sense you have.
19. It's coming to me.
19.
Okay.
And then 28 was another one. That was the one that was coming to me. But I know I can't have both, so I'm just going with 19.
19. Okay, good.
Okay.
Stay with the original.
I just want people to know the psychic phenomenon that was 28. But
If
my
it's
guess
28,
is 19.
if it's 28, I want to flip out.
The amount of contact lenses in her eye is 27.
Oh my God! You are
This
psychic.
is what they
you
took
are psychic.
out of her eye.
What the?
This is
it
the
looks like a
stack
glass ashtray.
of
A glass
contacts.
It looks like something you make at Color Me Mine.
This
How is it not
woman's-
protruding out of her eye? Like, how is it not?
Here we go.
Okay, so do you wear glasses or no?
I do. From,
Reading?
No, for seeing far
Driving?
away.
Would you ever put contacts in your eye?
I do it all the time.
No, I don't want to.
Neither do
You do
I.
contacts
I don't
every day.
because I don't need them all the time. Although it's starting to be that I do, but I'm just ignoring it. I'm like, I can get by. It's blurry. But like what I said to you when I saw you, I didn't see you until you were right.
That stack
can't
that
really
you guys
see.
just saw, that's just 17 of them.
Oh my! 10 more. 10 more in her eye.
Guys, join the Facebook page. Check out the Facebook page, Dumb People Town, Facebook.com/Dumb People Town. Join it so you can see the stack.
17. How do you not notice that? Like, I know this, I don't know if you do
you're
mindfulness
dumb.
stuff, but like,
'Cause you're a dumb person.
Okay, so there's a part of mindfulness which is like, be mindful. Don't just shovel food in your mouth and
Yeah.
and think about where the food maybe came from. All in an attempt for you to slow down and be aware of yourself.
Yeah.
This might be the least mindful person on the planet.
Yeah, she's not doing a body scan meditation. Wait, also, you know that show, I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant?
Yes.
I understand that
More than
I
this.
Yes. I totally. Because there's other
life inside you.
There's other things. Like when, as a lady with lady parts, I've never been pregnant, but sometimes I'm like, is that a cramp or is that a bowel
baby.
movement or is that a baby? But like there's so many things a baby could be, especially if you don't think you're pregnant. But what else could be in your eye except you using contacts every day?
It's such a small, okay. Yeah, I didn't know I was pregnant. Yes, there's a large area in there where you could be carrying a baby or not, and you just don't know. An eye is tiny, and these things are so big.
But and someone has to put them there.
You're the one.
It's you, unless someone is perpetrating on you as you're sleeping at night.
By the way,
if the
though,
contact fairy shows up
No.
and puts another one in your eye every night while you're sleeping.
I get doing it once. Did I take my contacts out?
Totally.
I think I did.
I've
and
double
then
tamponed.
Hey.
Thank you.
Have you really?
So have I.
Yes.
Pushed it even further up and in?
Well, I got lucky. They went side by side.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Double barrel.
Yeah, call that
You
the
double barrel.
Noah's Ark method.
I know it sounds like I have this giant vagina.
No,
but it was like,
Nothing was getting out. Nothing was getting out.
Yeah.
anyway,
Wrapped
sorry.
in a kimono. The case?
Wait,
Called
can I
that the
just
drought
ask a
of 2011.
Can I just ask a question about this?
Yeah.
How are you guys picturing it? Like, I'm picturing she's so dumb that every day she
Oh, I
puts
thought you were
one
talking
in.
about your vagina.
No, guys, how do you picture? I picture that every day she
Like a
puts
den?
one in.
Yep.
A man cave. She puts one in, and she then does it the next day. But this also could be a prank, where like a pie eating contest.
I
where
said while she's sleeping.
putting a bunch in at once.
Someone is just
Someone
opening
is-
her eye.
Or we're in Dumb People Town.
Clockwork Orange style.
Oh, you're right.
Dropping them in.
Yeah.
The case, which was published July 5th in the British Medical Journal, has made international
Dan,
headlines.
have you verified this?
Yes.
You have that this is true?
It's in the British Medical Journal, and it's also in
trust
another
it.
thing.
Because this reeks a little bit of maybe an untrue story.
Remember in Tignataro's episode, the two people who had no business doing the dirty dancing moves and still tried?
Yeah.
I thought that was
Was a
fake
fake.
because those pictures were so good
Yeah. Right.
that I investigated that too. Trust me.
I gotta
it's-
trust Dan
All
on
right,
this.
trust
This
you.
probably happened.
You know what? I would love if this was fake.
27 contacts.
Don't you love when British people are as dumb as Americans? Because I
Yeah.
feel like they have that sort of air of where
I don't
it's
think I
smarter
have
than you.
27 contacts in my phone.
Let alone.
Thank you. Come on, at Sklars.
Send him a low five.
That was my favorite part.
Send him a low five.
The case was published in the British Medical Journal, has made international headlines after the ophthalmologist. Ophthalmologist.
That's our next Dumb People Town
Ophthalmologist.
story.
I know.
This-
Responsible for
Dan's pronunciation of words.
responsible for extracting the stack of contacts spoke to the media recently. So the person who took them out said, "Here's the deal."
Like, it's bad when you just go to your job as a regular person and then have to have a press conference afterwards.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's never going well.
That's
I'm
never.
not a public figure, nor am I an athlete,
But now
nor
I
a
gotta
singer.
I gotta talk to the media about something I just did.
A 67-year-old woman went to the doctor for a, quote, routine eye surgery. When the surgery
Routine.
began, however, Dr. Rupal Morgiara.
RuPaul. It's pronounced RuPaul.
Oh, that makes it more sense.
Is the RuPaul Margiara's Drag Race, one of my favorite shows.
And her fellow doctors extracted a blue mass of 17 contacts all
Blue
stuck
Mass
together.
is the story of Whitey Bulger
Yes.
and
Yep.
Johnny Depp.
Yep, it's not as dark as
Did your parents know Whitey Bulger?
No, we didn't hang out with those kind
You
of
hang out with the
people, no.
Bulges?
No, but your Johnny Depp masturbation.
Best compliment
joke
I've ever
is one
got.
of my
One of
favorite
the-
bits ever.
Oh, thank you. He's like in the comedy scene now. I can't believe he hasn't heard it.
Is he in the comedy
Who?
scene?
He like hangs out with Doug Stanhope all the time.
Who?
I knew
Depp.
that. Yeah. So Johnny Depp was responsible for him. He produced his stand-up special.
I think so, yeah.
So I'm just like, why isn't he a fan of mine? I mean, I know he's probably like allegedly beating women, so like maybe I shouldn't hang out with him.
How drunk was he at the like Independent Spirit Awards?
Oh my
Did you
God.
see that?
Was that years ago?
Yeah, a few years ago. It's pretty fantastic.
It's amazing.
Pretty amazing. Anyway.
Well, one of the best compliments I ever got was I did set list as Mark Wahlberg. I went back into the green room. Bronger was sitting in there with Jen Kirkman, and Jen said to me, "Where in Boston are you from?"
I did. I think I didn't know at first.
No, I think that was the first time we ever met.
Yeah.
Chicago.
And I said, I'm
Rochelle,
farm town in Northern Illinois, in Rochelle, Illinois. And you were like, that. It was very good. It didn't seem like you were trying to do it, which is what made it good. And I was like, that's
good.
That made me feel so happy.
That's a big time
That's
compliment.
a big compliment.
Dude,
I'm very picky.
You're not going to believe this, kid.
Fuck this dude, bro.
Fuck this dude, bro. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe fucking unbelievable.
Dude, you see it was Donnie's birthday?
Dude, I did see it.
I blew his candle out right before he got the chance. Fuck that dude.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks.
It's so hot for
I bought the candle and the fucking cake. So I'm going to blow it
I'll
out.
fucking blow it out.
Okay.
I just enjoying hearing all this.
It's like being back home.
Yeah, it is.
Here come the
You want
muffins.
to go Dunkin's?
Let's go to
What do
fucking
you want, Toad?
Dunkin's.
What do you want? You want a
I
fucking
want a
tiger
medium.
tail?
No, I want a medium regular at Dunkin's.
Fine,
So
let's
a
go.
medium regular Dunkin's.
I'm gonna get two tails though, because I'm not letting you fucking eat my tail.
Dude, I'll have a fucking. Just give me an apple fritter.
Oh, Frata.
Yeah, fucking fritter.
Wait.
Yes.
Routine eye surgery?
She
Well, I
was
guess
going
that's like
in-
it means eye surgery that's
Takes
not.
out a blue
Got it.
mass.
Right.
Takes out blue
Yeah.
mass.
Remove the blue mouse.
Yes. Later, the doctors found another chunk of 10 contacts, bringing the
Where?
total of 27 contacts in one eye. Quote from the doctor to Optometry Today, great publication.
Which I subscribe to
None of
online.
us have ever seen this before. Again, whatever job you have, if you're saying that sentence, something has gone wrong today.
This woman's awfully quiet. What does she have to say?
Exactly.
It was a large.
you do?
It was a large grayish blue mass. All 17 contact lenses were quote bound together by mucus.
Ow!
It sounds like Haley Joel Osment.
We were really surprised the patient
Osment.
didn't notice it because it would cause quite a lot of irritation while sitting in there. According to Optometry Today, the patient had been wearing monthly disposable contacts for 35 years, but did not regularly go to the eye doctor and had no idea that many contacts were in her eye.
So this was years
time.
long?
So she thinks that they dissolve in her eye and just go away?
She
and
said
then they don't.
The patient said that she credited her discomfort to
those.
old age and dry eyes.
By the way, she's 67?
That's
Yeah,
not
that
really old
old.
age.
Not that old.
35 years. So she started doing this at 32. That's on you.
That is
This is just my... Helen, your eye looks terrible.
Oh, it's nothing I can do about it.
out like whitey
Whitey bulger.
There's a blue mass.
That's not
Dude, you got
bad,
a
guy.
fucking...
Yeah.
Now you're going back?
Dude, you got a fucking...
Nana, your
Look at her fucking eye.
fucking eyes all fucked up.
Oh, dear. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Take it out?
I don't have to get in my face about it.
She said that so old age, she said, quote, she was quite shocked, the doctor said.
Yeah.
When she was seen 2 weeks after I removed the lenses, she said her eyes felt a lot more comfortable.
Oh, I would guess.
A lot more comfortable.
She's not really ready to
No.
give it up. Like, I feel great now.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Thanks for correcting my mistake.
It's better, isn't it?
It's a bit better.
That's my
Isn't it?
favorite
Yeah.
thing
Ain't
when
it?
English people end any sentence
Anything.
with a rhetorical
Ain't it?
question.
Isn't it?
Wasn't that easy though, was it? Wasn't
Yeah.
that easy though, was it?
It's a lot better, ain't it? Ain't it?
Should have tried a little bit harder though, shouldn't ya?
Oh, it's the worst.
Yes.
Right.
I love it too. We're going to
I
get
also
out in
love
this
it.
very weird statement, and we can figure it out as we go to break. When asked how it's possible the woman lived like this all these years, all that the doctor could say was that perhaps it's because she had, quote, deep set eyes.
What?
I have no clue what that means.
Sunken eyes. Sunken deep
Sunken
back.
eye syndrome?
Yeah.
Like a pirate ship.
Yeah. that's how. Or that she's just a dummy.
Or sunken eyes,
A dummy.
like a pirate ship, and what they found was a buried treasure.
Essentially it. Yeah, that's it. What a dummy. Jesus.
That's a great summation.
This is a moment
What
where
did
you
she
need
do
to
with
just,
me?
you're unaware. She's unaware. What'd she do with the mask?
Well, no, the other eye. She must have known to do it correctly.
Right?
What if one eye, then the eye with it, she just saw, like she could see through walls
Totally,
and
like-
shit. Like she just
There's
such
a
good
balance.
vision.
Like she was right that the more you put on,
Yeah,
like
the
she
more
could see the future.
Wow, I'm seeing I can see the future. I'm like Kirkman. I can just get
I saw this
feeling.
guy in Wisconsin in the street with a knife. That's how far she can see.
Yeah,
Thank you.
naked.
What?
Brings it back around.
Tying them together.
Okay, all right. So let's see if Kirkman can tie this last story around. We got one more story come back, and then a little Facebook fun with you guys on Dumb People Town with Jen Kirkman and Dan Van Kirk. Stay with us.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey there, Adam Conover here. Humans Who Make Games is my podcast where I sit down with the people who created some of your favorite video games and have the kind of long-form personal conversation we so rarely get to hear. We talk about how they got into the industry, what their favorite games were growing up, and what it's like working in the trenches of this century's greatest new art form. This season, we've got a whole batch of new interviews for you. I talked to Kim Swift from Portal, Alex Preston from Hyperlight Drifter, Anna McGill from Control, and Alex Beecham from the game Outer Wilds. Whether you love video games or you just love learning more about other artists' creative process, I can guarantee you're going to love this podcast. So, you can get Season 2 of Humans Who Make Games wherever you get your podcasts. Take a listen.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. If you are new to the show, please subscribe to it and rate it and review it.
Yep.
This is that always helps us, and join the Facebook page.
A lot of people rate and review on the Facebook page, which is awesome and phenomenal, and it speaks really well when people check us out. But doing that on iTunes is a lot
Yeah, you
of help.
fucking idiots.
Yeah,
iTunes.
dummies.
Keeps us
Both
up in the old
places.
mix.
Both.
Keeps us in the mix.
We do want to announce that we are doing a live Dumb People Town in February in New York City.
February 25th. Yeah,
Yeah.
February 25th at the Bell House. Which
In
you
Brooklyn.
prefer to the
It's
Bell
gonna
House.
sell out.
Yeah.
It's gonna sell 'cause
it's gonna
we
sell out way in advance.
We have
Yep.
the ladies from Guys We Fucked, which is a great podcast.
And we have
Jay
all
and
our
I did
townies.
that. All of our townies will be there, but I know they have. I was talking to Christina, and she was like, "We've sold out a number of shows there that we've done there. They're extraordinarily popular. We've wanted to, ever since we did their podcast, we wanted to get them on ours, and we're like, hey, wait, we're coming
bring
to
it
New
to
York.
you.
Right.
Let's bring the show to you
So
guys."
that's happening in Brooklyn. If we sell it out soon enough, early enough, then we'll do a second
Hopefully,
one.
you never
Yeah.
know with any
You gotta
stuff.
buy things
Get
in advance,
yes,
people.
get your
Yeah.
tickets now,
I'm
because
always
what if
yelling
something happens and we can't add a second? Don't bank on that
Yeah,
second show.
it takes months in advance to add a second show. So just
Get your tickets now.
You want people to be successful? Fucking pay for it.
Thank
upfront.
There you
you.
go.
Sell it out by
And
October.
we might have some DPT merch at that point in time. Maybe the DPT beanies.
yeah.
We'll see. We'll figure
Also,
it out.
this drops on. This should be September 5th when this comes out. So you guys are going to be this
weekend we'll be at the Blue Whale Comedy Festival in Tulsa. Never been. Really excited. We're going to do a live version of our other podcast, View from the Cheap
Which is
Seats.
so good.
Kyle Kinane, thank you, will be our guest on that show. Lovely Kyle Kinane. And Dan, you'll be at the 208 Fest up in Boise.
Idaho.
So awesome, guys. Just check
Wait,
us out.
I'm
on both
pitching
those.
now. September 6th.
Where are you?
San Francisco, one night at Cobb's, and then I'll be in Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver. Go to my website.
Go to
yes.
it.
Please see her.
JenKirkman.com.
Please
Get
go
those
see her.
kimonos.
Yeah, come on.
Get those. I might have the kimonos ready by then.
Dude, that would be amazing.
And we added a date in October too, October 4th, which is right before the weekend, 5th through the 8th. We're going to be in Denver at Comedy Works.
Oh, the best club ever.
I know. We're going to be in the South one. Never done the South one out in the suburbs. You know,
Oh,
that
sure.
one, the
So that's
landmark.
going-
I've done that one before.
Did you like it?
It's not that bad.
Okay, great.
It's really large, so
Yeah.
get your tickets, everyone.
Please do that. But on the 4th, we're going to be in Boulder at the Dairy Center or something like that. So we're doing
This is a really cool theater
in
the night
Boulder
before.
on Wednesday night. So get
And
tickets. to
Caden
that.
Holland, as long as there's not a Rockies game, Adam Caden Holland, our buddy from Those Who Can't,
gonna
and
open for us.
he's going to open for us there. So it'll just be a blast.
Nice.
So please come out to
Oh,
that.
I want to come.
Come.
Kirks, be there.
Hey, you want to do a last story?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go. Sent in by Joshua at Coach Moffat, Moffatt. A motorist got more than he bargained for.
This I cannot. To me, this
What are you bargaining for
could
when
be-
you're a motorist?
Just no one talking to me or hitting me.
armadillo in the tailpipe. I don't know what this is.
He got more than he bargained for when he stopped at a Michigan gas station earlier this week
Some kind of crazy animal that should not be
In the back of
in
his
the-
car.
yeah.
In his
Exactly.
car.
and started a fire
No.
More fire.
when he tried to kill what? What do you guys think he stopped at the gas station.
Start with his wife.
Started a fire.
I tried to kill something.
Yeah.
So it was more like, I'm picturing it like, oh shit, I got to pull over. There's a problem.
A skunk.
He was getting gas, then tried to kill something and started a fire.
You say a wasp?
I say a wasp.
Jason says wasp.
I say a skunk.
He says skunk from Randy Sklar.
I say a spider.
A spider. Ooh. One of you guys is right.
No way!
Exactly.
I think it's me.
It's right.
If I had any betting in the world, I'd be on Kirkman.
It's our psychic
He's
friend.
so clairvoyant.
Everybody playing along at home, get your answers in. He tried to kill a spider.
No!
Kirkman, you are on fire.
I want to call you and just find out what's happening with my life.
Happen to me this
Anytime.
weekend? Can you please give us some good news,
He
Kirkman?
tried to kill a spider at a gas station with a cigarette lighter.
Do you know why I went spider?
Why? Because that's the thing that would scare you.
But you
the
knew
most.
it was an animal before I even said that we were going to guess what the
Wasp. An
Wasp,
animal.
you could like open the doors and try to get him out in the
He
air.
just look. He's trying to be a tough guy. He didn't step on it. I don't know. Maybe it was in a place you can't step, and he just wanted to. He thought he could just
So he
burn it up.
pulled out the
I bet it
lighter.
was pretty big.
Oh, I'm sure it was big. I saw a huge spider. So we're in our backyard and we have like a little couches kind of area and a brick area, and we have a portable. You can open up a movie screen and a rear projector thing that we invested in that is so great to
that's
sit
the coolest.
outside and do that. And so we were watching a movie and I was there with my daughter. It was for her 10th birthday. So
I was there.
10-year-old girls and
my son.
me and Jay's son
My
and
8-year-old son.
I'm out there and we're sitting on the couch and we have like the strung up lights are out. It's nighttime. It's so pretty. And all of a sudden the biggest, most poisonous looking red fucking spider goes from the tree above us, goes right
baby.
down in the middle, comes right down the middle. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. Some girl was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I looked
when
at it.
you
I was
say
like,
some girl, that was you.
yes. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Which is fine.
I immediately like, whose parents do I have to now call that their kid's in the hospital?
Is that like a lady? What do you call it? The death widow?
Ooh, a black widow?
It's not a black widow because it was
There's
red.
red.
Oh, I thought you just meant red in the center.
No, I mean, it was,
Woo!
maybe it was
Yuckers.
red. Oh my God. This was so scary. And then so I went to go like maybe just knock it down or knock it away.
Dumb.
And it went right back up into the tree. And in my brain, I'm like, okay, this is going to definitely come down on one of the kids later in the movie. But then part of me was like, okay, it's done. It's gone.
Yep, out of
So I
sight.
treated it like it was gone, knowing full well that there was a killer above these kids.
I've killed 3 scorpions.
Scorpions.
In my house.
and one of them was
This
in
is why I
the
don't
one
wanna
was
own
in
a
the
home.
band.
One was the Klaus
Mine,
Mine,
the lead singer of the band
This
Sklars.
is
like,
why
what is
I
this German in
I
my
stay
house?
4th floor condo, no homes. There's
floor
too many
condo.
critters.
I'm telling you.
This is what
in
it
the
looked
canyon.
like when this guy tried to kill a spider.
I am the fire starter.
Things have escalated at the gas station in Michigan.
By the way, don't ever start a fire.
So we
near a
worked.
gas
Randy
station.
and I worked at gas
You're
stations.
not even supposed to use your cell phone.
You're supposed to turn your goddamn car off.
We worked at gas stations, Randy and
my
I,
God.
before we went to college. The summer before we went to college.
Full service gas station, and I had to put
those are the days.
oil in a car, and there was a full lot of people, like rush hour. They're all waiting, and it's full service. You got to do everybody's car. This guy rolls up in again, this is 90, so a guy rolls up in like an 82 Toyota Corolla. And I'll never forget, it was like yellowish car. And he said, give me $5 worth of regular and I need a quart of oil.
By the way, dick move.
Because
If you're going to ask me to do 2 things simultaneously with a full lot, tell me to fill it up so I don't have to worry
so I
about
don't have to worry
Yeah,
about it.
now you have to stand there, click,
Right.
click,
So
5.
because he said 5, I click it on because I didn't want him to get mad at me like I wasn't going to get to 5. And instead of getting the little paper funnel that I did to put it in the thing, I unscrew the cap to the valve cover gasket. I go grab the oil and I start pouring it, look the whole time looking back at the thing like, please don't let it go over 5. Please don't let it go over 5. Meanwhile,
You're pouring oil
I'm
all
pouring
over the
oil
engine.
over like an engine, and it's St. Louis summertime, so it's super hot. A fire starts. Okay? A fire starts, and my first instinct, maybe as a Jew, but just as a person, was to start blowing on it to get it to go up. There's a fire raging in this car. I'm like, okay, so I can understand this guy's pain right there. Okay? It's not going out. I go and grab some water and pour it
The
on
second dumbest thing you could do. Or
Yes,
the
it's an
dumbest.
oil fire.
so I just spread
Well,
it
how do you get
around.
rid of that?
So I just spread it around.
Sand. There's like a
Sand
substance.
or
or a fire extinguisher.
run away.
Fire exactly. No,
away.
No, we're sitting on a full lot of people and 15,000 gallons of gas that are here. So if the fire gets to the gas, the whole place explodes. We're done. The racist guy I worked with, whose nickname was Booger, I didn't even know his real name. Booger runs it. Booger always was like gone at the bank, trying to like flirt with the girl at the bank, making the drop of the money. Made me do everything. Booger runs back, sees that the car's on fire, flies into the garage, grabs the fire extinguisher, comes over, sprays sprays a huge cloud of fire. Everyone's out of their car watching this whole thing. The whole thing, smoke clears.
Then you hear a click,
I
right?
hear a click, which means that his gas went to like the full gas tank. And then I just looked at everybody who was out. I was like, who's next? That's all I could say at that moment was, who's next? It was so bad. So I understand this fire. I've seen this fire at a gas station.
Right.
This is scary
But you
as
were
shit.
trying to do your job.
This guy
scary. Walked into
I didn't even know lighters still work in cars. I did not know that.
Yeah, you press the thing out and you
I don't think it was a car lighter, was it?
It just said cigarette lighter, but it made me think car lighter too. But I think that was just their fancy way of saying lighter.
Yeah.
But who
because
knows?
there's no way he has one of those. Those were amazing when I used to smoke.
You press
and I used
the
to drive
thing.
my parents' Oldsmobile and just
pull it out, light it up.
Oh, Camel
stick
Light,
it back
fucking
in.
drive.
I remember
Fucking Camel Light,
driving
girl.
down Commonwealth Ave.
nobody in my family smoked, and I remember being in a friend's car, like their parents' car, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I pulled it out and touched the end. I still remember seeing my fingerprint like burned.
Dumb people town.
Yeah.
I'm an early adopter.
Damn people
I've been
town.
on this tip for a long time, kids. Surveillance video from the mobile gas station in Center Line, Michigan shows flames quickly engulfing the man's car and the gas pump. Fox 2 Detroit reported Friday, while adding that luckily no one was hurt.
By the way, Spider wins.
I love what
I
they
wonder
say
if
here.
the spider probably didn't even get killed.
This
not
story,
at all.
by the way, going through the spider community is like,
Yeah.
they're like you said, it's like they're Django.
Yep.
It's Nate
The dopey
Fritzen.
motorist, that's what they literally call him in this article, put out the flames with a fire extinguisher.
He had to.
He told authorities he spotted a spider on his gas tank and pulled out his lighter to get rid of it.
Hey,
Of all the places.
take off your shoe and smack it. What are
Or
you
just
doing?
start pumping the gas and let it get wet all over.
Yeah.
Act like it's a fire on a car engine and blow it away. Blow that spider away.
that's what I
How
would have
big
done.
was the spider?
Or go to the thing and grab the squeegee for the thing and start banging your car with the squeegee.
It's on the outside of your car, drive away.
No,
Yes.
he had to reach. I'm sure he had
It was in the tank.
He had the gas thing in the tank, and he was worried about reaching in and having
we don't want
it
to
bite
touch
him.
it.
So let me burn it next to
burn
the
it
thing
like-
shooting gasoline
Like
out.
on Beavis and Butthead.
Dumb
God.
people. Town.
All right.
Sweet Lord.
Quote, he didn't have a cigarette. He didn't have anything on him. All of a sudden, I look out and I see flames. Employee Susan Adams told Fox 2. Susan's seen shit.
Susan Adams is like, I am too old for this shit, and
Yes.
she's 17.
This is how you know. Calmly, Adams hit the gas automatic stop button and quickly called the center line fire. Literally, you're right. She was like, okay, here we go.
There's like one button just for assholes. Bep,
Hits
hit
it,
the asshole
calls the
button.
fire department. The fire destroyed the gas pump. The motorist's vehicle suffered little damage. His stupidity, this is the part that makes him the most dumb.
Okay.
His stupidity didn't stop him from returning the next day for another fill up. If you start a gas station fire trying to kill a spider while pumping gas, you don't get to go back to that gas
No,
station.
you're
anymore.
done.
Why would
Why
you
didn't
want
he fill up all... Or maybe he just drove away without filling up.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Today's not a good day for this.
We're gonna call this one a wash.
to? No, it's not a wash.
You
owe
guys,
us
something happened to your
thousands
pump. Yeah, something happened to your pump. He rolls up the next day. Hey guys, how's it going? Hey,
Whoa, what happened here?
You again.
I bet they call him Spider-Man around there.
There you go. Spider-Man.
better.
They should.
Quote, this is from Susan Adams. He was sorry. He said he didn't know. It's just one of
By
those.
the way, he was sorry. It can be read multiple ways. Like,
Sure.
if you're like, that's a sorry guy.
Yeah.
Like that. That's a sorry dude.
He was sorry.
He was
a
sorry.
sorry guy.
Susan's too forgiving.
Way too
But then
forgiving.
she comes in with a little bit of shade.
What does she do?
It's just one of those things that happen. Stupidity.
Classic Susan.
Called it.
If you knew Susan like I knew Susan, just giving it to her.
Yeah.
Adam says this serves as a reminder about being careful around gas pumps. Whether it's using a cell phone or static electricity, the smallest spark can cause a gas station fire.
Who has to be
Terrified.
reminded? Who has to be reminded to be careful around gas pumps?
Even when I sometimes still
Idiots.
smell gas on my hand after pumping and I get on my cell phone like at home, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to catch on fire.
Clean your hands. Oh my God. Fumes are bad. Fumes are bad, everybody. This is why you got to go with an electric car. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I know. I'm
Right.
like a dick for not having
Look
one.
at that.
Look, but you can't take road trips. That's
I don't
amazing.
do that anyway.
All right, fine.
There you go.
There you go.
Kimono
Dan,
trips.
what are we doing?
Okay, so we're going to close this out with
Okay.
a little bit of how great the people who listen to the show is. I think you guys saw this on Twitter. So you might have heard me mention earlier that'll be good for the walking tour when I was talking about the naked dude and where they said he was.
Oh, yeah.
So we list, for some reason in all these articles, they always say exactly
address
where
of
this,
where this is
they
at.
say people's homes. One time a guy he was at like a Father's Day party at a kindergarten and he got in a fight with a 7-year-old boy or 6-year-old boy. He literally tried to, and then he thought the cops should arrest the 16-year-old.
Good.
Called the
There
cops
he is.
on the 6-year-old.
In that article,
There he is.
they
Get
gave
him.
that man's home address.
I love it.
I don't know why, but it's added to the Dumb People Town walking
That's
tour.
right.
Steps in Mike T at Mike_T 345. He said, "Hey guys, I created a pin map for all of the Dumb People Town locations.
This is perfect.
Guys, look at this map. You can go, it's listed by
Wow.
story 1, episode 29, story 2. You can go through every episode.
So is that link on the
This
Facebook page?
this will all be posted on the Facebook page.
like
but-
an incredible amount of work.
Oh,
It's a
Mike
lot of work.
T
It
is
seems
a
like
dedicated
it'd be fun
fan.
to do.
He's a great townie.
But just don't go and harm anybody.
No, but you can.
if
But
you go and take
hear-
a picture in front of it, we have a couple of people that have taken
Yeah, take a
pictures.
picture.
We took one in front of the Mystic gas station.
Yep.
Where
And
the guy
They
dressed
took
up.
3 pictures. One in front of the burned out fence.
Yes.
One in front of this gas station. One of the cash register.
so good.
That they tried to steal.
That's fantastic. I
So,
love it.
to make it a little
It
fun,
exists.
It's
I'm gonna-
better than that Pokemon shit people
Thank
were doing.
you. This is like a better Pokemon Go thing.
Yeah.
This is like
This is
dumb-
Pokemon dumb.
It's like dumb people go.
Dumb people go.
So to make that a little bit fun, and then we have one other thing after it, which is great too. I'm going to ask you guys. This is how many I counted. I might be wrong. I might be right. Who cares? This is the number I counted. How many countries are represented so far as of us recording with Jen Kirkman?
Okay.
How many countries do you think have been represented in Dumb People
In
Town?
almost 30 episodes of this show.
Yes. And now we've told you we've had British people trying to do Dirty Dancing. We had like a guy, I think in Malaysia, who got bit in the dick with a snake.
Yeah.
So we've been all over.
China.
If you had to guess, how many countries do you think are represented in Dumb People Town? Jen, you want to go first or last? Or second?
I'm sure there could be
There could be.
every country, but I just feel like I'm just adding
Who
in.
we've represented so far.
I'm gonna say 12.
Okay.
Ooh, I was going to say 9.
All right.
I'm going to say 15.
15 from Randy.
Yeah.
12 from our guest, Jen Kirkman. And what did you say, Jay?
I said 9.
9. The answer is 8.
Oh, look
Very
at you.
close, Jason.
Yeah, I was
Very
actually trying
close.
to count it up. And then I added a couple.
All right, and we have one more fun thing. As many people who subscribe to the Facebook page know, if you don't, get on it. Randy Sklar went on a road trip with his family, and he met a townie.
I met a townie. I was in one of my favorite places that I've ever been. I was like kind of heading down from Wrights Beach to Point Reyes, and we went to Tamales Bay, which is like West Marin. So beautiful.
Right.
Like unbelievable landscape and very underpopulated. It was so pretty. We went to this
Is it
great
near Petaluma? It's kind of near Petaluma.
Yeah, kind of. It's a little bit north of that in West Marin. And we went to this place called Hog Island Oysters, which I don't know if you're an oysters fan. I'm the biggest.
I'm not, but I enjoy that other people enjoy.
You know, it was shuck your own oysters day.
Yeah.
So you gotta get the oysters, put it on the ice, put it on a tray, give you the glove, give you the knife, and you go in and my kids did it too. Even though one of them ate the oysters, the other one didn't. And I went up to get a couple beers for me and my wife, and the guy at the thing just kind of gave me a nod. Ryan gave me a nod. He was so nice. And then he was like, hey, by the way, it feels like we're in the middle of nowhere here.
Totally.
He's like, I'm a huge fan of Dumb People Town. I listen to the podcast. I was like, dude, we got to take a picture and we're going to post it on the Facebook page just because I know that's so great that it makes its way. You don't think
That's
it
so cool.
You know how you don't think it makes its way out into the kind of the very fringes of it all? The fact that it does just made me really happy.
Well, we could stop there and say, what a great, cute story.
What a great guy.
But 2 things came out of this. One, we thought up the really fun idea because Ryan's wearing a Carhartt hat that all Dumb People Town beanies should be Carhartt. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but it just seems appropriate.
Sure.
Great.
And then something else happened. I just knew his first name. You just knew his first name.
Ryan.
It was Ryan from the oyster place.
Oh,
Hog
well.
Island Oyster,
Oyster Ryan.
Hog Island Oyster
Right.
Ryan.
Well, somebody recognized it. First off, step in Sylvia. Now, Facebook gives people's first and last names. If it's that important to you, join the Facebook page. I'm just going to go first name.
Sylvia.
Sylvia steps in and comments. People could be a part. This is what's going on the Facebook page.
This is what I love about
I know.
things
I love
happen
stuff
and
like this.
you know what I mean? It's the community of it.
She says, well, Ryan is hot. DPT needs to make a dating app. Just saying.
Oh! See, now we say this when we see people at our shows, like couples, and we're like, the couple who listens to this podcast together, I think has a good chance of staying together.
Because they have so
You're
many
bonding
inside
over a
jokes.
common theme
Yeah,
and a sense of humor.
Steps in Gordon Daniels.
Whoa.
Gordon Daniels tags Ryan, the person who's a fan of the show, and says, have you met Sylvia at Ryan? Ryan Slater then chimes in. Don't believe I've had the pleasure. Smiley emoticon.
Played it great.
Waving
Played
emoticon.
it great.
This guy was a very chill
And
dude.
this guy doesn't know either of them, right? He's just
No,
like a
no,
nosy
no. He's
fan.
just a guy.
It must be. I bet the guy who tagged him is his friend. They must listen to the show.
Okay, got
but
it.
his friend saw it and was like, "Hey,
Have
you need
you
to come
met
onto the
Sylvia?
And does this girl live in the neighborhood of him?
I have no idea.
Okay, continue.
I know that they're all in Dumb People Town.
That's right. They're all part of the town.
So he
Part of the
writes.
virtual community.
So he writes.
He wrote back, "Don't believe I've had the pleasure." Waving emoticon, smiling emoticon, big with the blushing.
Nice.
Oh.
Solid.
Sylvia Martin responds,
Oh, yes.
"Well, hello." Smirky face emoticon.
I love that all this is being played on the Facebook page.
Now, nothing else has gone from their commenting. In my dreams, they've
They're
stepped
direct
aside and at least
messaging.
became buddies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe
However, Sylvia also left a review for Dumb People Town, and she wrote, I enjoy so very much the reenactments. They have been
Crapping me.
up.
They have been cracking me up. Plus, super hot guys listen to your podcast.
You hear that, Ryan? Look at that.
Look, this
Super
could be
hot.
our first love connection.
Who knows?
From Dumb People
Either
Town.
way, everything's possible in Dumb People
So
Town.
people do stupid things in Dumb People Town. We as friends and comedians and just people make fun of it, and then other people connect over it, and we might be. What if they get married? What if they have kids?
Oh, it's a great story.
It's the family that we're starting
Yeah.
right here.
You performed a mitzvah.
Yeah,
An
there.
accidental
Non-Jew.
mitzvah
An
from a
accidental
non-Jew.
An accidental mitzvah for a non-Jew.
Isn't that
Please-
just like the most fun? Oh, sorry.
I
what were you
love
Please
saying?
make sure to announce I'm a non-Jew. There's a lot going on in the country, and I just,
Please don't throw.
We
any
don't need
heat.
to have other people hating you for other reasons.
Kirkman, non-Jewish Jen Kirkman. Dude, thank you so much for coming and
Thank
being on our
you. A
show.
pleasure always.
Go see her in the Pacific Northwest. You will thank us by going and enjoying and
Follow
supporting
her,
live
watch her
comedy.
Netflix specials, read her books, and all the other
Ask her
good
for
stuff.
psychic advice.
Yes.
I'll do that for free.
It's a super fun show. It is like, this is one of our favorite comedians working today. So
Get your
Oh, I
tickets
love you guys.
February 25th, Bell House, live Dumb People
man.
Town.
don't wait for it to sell out and hope for a second show.
No,
now.
this needs to sell out by
October.
September 30th.
Oh,
no.
yeah. By
Stat.
September 30th. Let's sell it out, and
I
then we'll
love it.
definitely put a
And
second
by the way,
show.
when this actually comes out, because we're,
On the 5th, I believe.
I say, even if you don't live in Brooklyn, buy tickets and send them to someone you know that does.
Look at that. That's
Send
a
'em
great
to a
present.
townie.
Even if they don't listen to the podcast, go. I bought you tickets to something you're going to love it.
Holiday gift.
I love it. Coming up later this month, we got Keegan Michael Key's going to be on this show, and Eric Stone Street. So lots of good things coming up. Just stay tuned for all that stuff. And holy shit, we got to get back to work.
Yeah.
Let's do
Do
it.
it.
Dum 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 dum.